We used to meet at Artesia High School. I can get another water, that'd be great. We used to meet at Artesia High School, and there's this lady, her name is Carol. And she used to always come up and down Del Amo. Thank you. She used to always come up and down Del Amo. In the mornings, I go out for my early morning prayer time. About 5:30, I walk out, and it's dark, and I see her a couple times, and I'm kind of shocked, and she sees me. And one morning, I just felt the Spirit. I go, man, I'm so judgmental. When I see her, I want to make all these assumptions. I say, hey, excuse me. I'm sorry. I see you here mornings when I walk by. I'm sorry, what's your name? My name's Miss Carol. I say, hey, Carol, I don't know your situation, but can we just say a prayer? She goes, oh, I would love to lead the prayer. She led the prayer. I was like, amen, go ahead. And every time I see her, May and I were walking at the dog park at Surreal. I say, hey, there's Carol. She's walking. You know, we used to give her shoes, give her flip-flops, give her some food. I used to give her some food. Every time I get something to eat, I go drop by. I know where she's going to be. Always Del Amo, Gridley and Del Amo. Hanging down there. But man, look at Jesus. He treats them like they're human. Because they are human. But look at you, man. How dare you judge others? Your life, thinking you're all good. Before the Lord, we have all sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Let's think of ourselves with sober judgment. But what if we lived the way Jesus lived? Boy, this church would be full. Because we'd be grateful for the redemption that we receive through Jesus. And then later on he reads, Jesus cast the demons into the pigs. And, I think it's interesting because, these people weren't Jewish. Jews don't eat pig. So to them, if you're a Gentile and you have 2,000 or 3,000 pigs and they go over the cliff, what does that mean about your livelihood? Jesus just jeopardized your business. But see, Jesus wasn't, ribs, that was a good one. But see, Jesus wasn't willing and was unyielding in bending in his convictions to do what God put on his heart. And God said, we got to cast these demons out of this man, and pigs or whatever pigs. Jesus is teaching us the importance of redemption. Guys, we've all been redeemed. Have we forgotten where we've come from? Have we forgotten the height, from which we've fallen? Have we forgotten the life that we used to live? Have we forgotten what we've been forgiven from? And maybe some of us, we've forgotten and we've started to worship other things and pack different bags. And other demons are coming up because you're unwilling to sit at his feet and let him minister to you. It's not about church attendance. It's about your walk with God. Giving the offering is not about money and what we need for, yes, I'm the full-time minister here and that money goes to help my salary. That money goes to God. And it's between you and the Lord. It's not about this church. It's not about this building, right? You look around and you go, man, I wish I had a worship hall that was different, like some of these other churches. Amen, but we got what we got. I love the people inside the building, not the building itself. Because I've seen your lives change, and I know there's a God. If you can change, I know that God is alive and well. Have we forgotten the baggage and demons Jesus removed from our life? Have we allowed some old baggage and demons to come back into our lives? I believe some of us have returned our baggage and demons because we've decided to live in fear and stop living in faith. Well, it's hard to be faithful when you don't have food on the table. I've been there. I know the struggle. I know it's real. I'm not asking you to give. You can't take care of your own family, but I am asking you, but let's look at the way you do your finances. Are you humble enough to that? To get help and perspective? Because maybe your bag is arrogance with finances. Maybe your bag is unopenness and unwilling to be taught and unwilling to be moldable and teachable. Maybe your bag is you're just too darn stubborn because you're not willing to sit at the feet of Jesus and allow someone else to help you. I mean, that's what Jesus did with this guy. He's willing to treat him like a human. Yeah, there's a movie. It's an old movie. It's called The Mission. And I bought it. In our series, what's our theme for the year? The Mission. And we're going to watch a video clip here, but I want to introduce it real quick. And that'll be our closing thought for today. But the movie The Mission, it's kind of, Robert De Niro is a soldier. And he's a bounty hunter. And he works in the different areas in South America way back in the 1780s. And he starts to take slaves and take tribesmen from different tribes, and he sells them off to the wealthy British. And he makes money. And yet he ravages families, he damages families, he separates husbands and wives and kids and mothers, and he takes these people and he takes them as slaves and he sells them to the British. And then he kills his own brother. Guess what? Over a girl. And he kills his brother because, wow, his brother took his girl, but his girl wasn't in love with him because, boy, Robert De Niro, he made some change in his life that were just not good. It didn't make her feel safe and secure. And then Jeremy Irons is a priest. And so Robert De Niro kills his brother, then he's imprisoned. And as he's in prison, he wants to end his life. You know how it is, right? When a man's down, he's down, depressed, and discouraged, and he's mad at the world, right? And Robert De Niro is down, depressed, discouraged, the world is beating him, and he wants to take his own life because he's so ashamed of who he's become. He's so ashamed of his life. He's so disgusted by how he's lived. He's so disgusted with anything. And Jeremy Irons comes in, a priest, and says, hey, I know you're a coward. I know you got issues, but you got to deal, and you've got to make amends for your life. While you're alive, make your life count. And I'm willing to help you. So the priest jumps in the prison and meets with Robert De Niro and helps him and says the truth, right? Sometimes what we need is the truth. Stop sugarcoating what someone needs to change in. Stop sugarcoating how you're really feeling. Speak the truth. Now, in love, Jeremy Irons speaks the truth to him. Kind of gets him right and says, you got to make amends with God. Come on a mission with us, and we're going to help you get your life right. And then the priests, Jeremy Irons and the other priests, grab Robert De Niro, and then he's still wallowing in his mud and still depressed and discouraged. He starts to bring his baggage with him and says, okay, I'm going to make amends, but I got to bring the things, my skeletons with me. So they're climbing these mountains, and Robert De Niro is lugging these things with him. And the priests are like, let it go, let it go. He goes, no, I got to make amends with God because Robert De Niro wants to get right and wants to deal with the things in his life. And he finally gets up to the top of the waterfall. And all these tribesmen who knew him, who Robert De Niro savaged and divided their families, they saw him. And the compassion that they practice is not only from God. And they come and they help him find redemption and find change. Guys, I don't care where you're at. Let this year be a year of redemption. Let this be a year that you cut off everything that hinders. And you let it go, and you recognize your baggage, you write it down, you acknowledge it, you bring it to God, and you cut it out of your life. And live the way that God desired you to live. John 10:10 says, Jesus says, I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. Amen. And give you something that is unshakable. Amazing grace. How sweet the sound. And the redemption that we only get as believers from Christ. Well, watch this video, and I'll close out with a prayer. Well, I tell you, that's moving, isn't it? You know, what are the areas that you need to set free from this morning? What are the bags that you got to cut? What are the things that you need freedom from? They're only found through Jesus. In what areas of your life do you need to stop carrying around with you? Stop allowing it to define who you are. Stop allowing it to carry you and exhaust you up this mountain of 2016. What's weighing you down from living a redeemed life that Jesus wants? It's simple this morning, church. To experience the amazing gift of redemption that God provides, you got to sit at the feet of Jesus. You need to deal with your baggage and your demons. You need to experience redemption only through Christ. And you need to continue to live a life of redemption through obedience to Christ and Him alone. Church, let's have a great week. You've been redeemed.